Why does a banking crisis in one country trigger economic shockwaves across continents? Why can a trade restriction on microchips escalate into diplomatic confrontation? And why do currency fluctuations influence geopolitical strategy? International Political Economy, or IPE, exists to answer these questions. It examines how politics and economics are deeply intertwined at the global level. In today's world, power is not measured only in military strength, but also in control over trade, finance, technology, and markets. At its core, IPE studies the interaction between states and markets. States seek security and influence, while markets seek profit and efficiency. But they constantly shape each other. For example, when the United States restricts semiconductor exports to China, it is not merely making an economic decision, it is using economic leverage for strategic purposes. Similarly, China's Belt and Road Initiative combines infrastructure investment with geopolitical influence. Trade routes, ports, and supply chains become instruments of statecraft. Trade is one of the central pillars of IPE. Globalization has integrated economies through supply chains that stretch across continents. A smartphone assembled in one country may rely on components from 5 others. This interdependence increases efficiency, but also creates vulnerability. The US-China trade war demonstrated how tariffs and export controls can disrupt global markets. The COVID-19 pandemic further exposed how fragile supply chains can become when production halts. Trade is no longer just about economic growth. It is about resilience and strategic autonomy. Finance is another powerful dimension. Global capital flows, currency stability, and international institutions shape economic outcomes. The 2008 financial crisis, which began in the US housing market, rapidly spread across Europe and Asia, revealing how interconnected financial systems are. The US dollar's dominance in global finance provides Washington with significant leverage, particularly through sanctions that restrict access to international banking systems. When Russia was partially removed from the SWIFT payment system, it demonstrated how financial tools function as instruments of geopolitical pressure. Global markets also reflect inequality and hierarchy. Developed economies often control high-value industries such as technology and advanced manufacturing, while developing economies rely on commodity exports. Debt relationships with institutions like the IMF influence domestic policy decisions in borrowing states. Climate finance negotiations reveal tensions between industrialized countries and developing nations seeking support for environmental adaptation. IPE shows that global economics is not neutral. It is structured by power relationships. International political economy reveals that economic decisions are rarely separate from political strategy. Trade agreements, currency policy, investment flows, sanctions, and technological competition all shape global influence. In an interconnected world, economic leverage can be as powerful as military force. Understanding IPE helps explain why trade wars escalate into diplomatic crises, and why financial systems become strategic battlegrounds. And now that you see how economics and politics intersect globally, the next step is to explore how globalization and complex interdependence further reshape state behavior in international relations.